Previously on Chop and Brew. You might remember New Year's Eve 2018, a box showed up in St. Paul, Minnesota from Norway containing some homebrew, or Haimabrygg, from our friend Ivar Geithung, north of Voss, Norway. The box included both raw ales and boiled ales, what he calls the old school style. Being New Year's Eve and all, I gathered a group of people, Dono, Daniel, Jackie, Bert and the dog, and we got loose on some Haimabrygg. But it wasn't the most sophisticated tasting, so I decided a couple of weeks later in January to sit down by myself and give my tasting notes on several of the beers. Those tasting notes are just ahead in this Kveik connection video. I want to let you know that we have video of Ivar brewing at his homestead in Norway, a new video showing that whole process and the giant cauldron, boil kettle, the juniper steep, the pitching of the Kveik, the open fermentation. You must check that out. The link is in the video below. And I should let you know that we're going to Norway to see Ivar in September 2019. If you want to support that trip and get some cool rewards, we got some customized merch just for the occasion. Check out bit.ly/Kveik Connection. Also, shout out to Imperial Yeast for their ongoing support of Chop and Brew. Their Kveik blend limited edition strain is out through the end of August at your homebrew suppliers. And without further ado, Chip me. What's going on, everybody? It's Chip Walton from Chop and Brew. I'm here with some of the finest soda and beverage selections from Norway. Just kidding. Blow! I'm here with 3 homebrews, Haimabryggs from Norway, from our buddy Ivar Geithung. These may look familiar. I did a tasting note, a drunken basement tasting note with Dono, Daniel Fuller, Jackie, Bert and the dog. It wasn't the most sophisticated tasting, most respectful use of the Haimabrygg as sent to us from Ivar from Norway. So I want to do a real quick kind of follow-up to that with some more legit analysis and observations. So let's get into this flight. So from my left to right, we have raw, unboiled, but carbonated. Granted, these have all been in my basement now for about a month and a week, so they're kind of not so carbonated, but they all have held up surprisingly well. None of them got vinegary or funky. The second one, which came in the Pepsi Max bottle, is carved, old style brewing. The third one is old style brewing with hops from Ivar's wife's family farm, Sullen Family Farm. So I'm going to do these in kind of the order. So I thought number 2 was the most neutral, if you can call any of them neutral. The aroma's fairly neutral, cleaner, kind of orange, lime. A lot of what most of these Kveik fermented farmhouse ales have, besides a little bit of kind of funk to them, is a citrusy kind of note. So that's kind of almost across the board. This one I get a bitter finish, almost tannic and astringent, sweet, funky, earthy, orange, but not all that sweet. It's not all that sweet like orange juice. It's more like bitter orange peel. Long finish is bitter and drying on the tongue and top of mouth. Kind of tea-like. These are my notes from tasting them for the last couple of weeks. I really just wanted to make sure that the drunken tomfoolery of New Year's Eve was not the lasting impression people walked away with. The first one, the aroma I have is more campfirey, funky, woody, smoke, black pepper in the nose and the mouth of this. The flavor, medium funk, campfire smoke, juniper, pine, almost a little light grapefruit. I listed this one as the smokiest and the funkiest of the 3 examples. This one came in the solo bottle. They've all held up. They've all been really clear because our basement is upper 30s, lower 40s. But in just pouring them out, they got really cloudy because I got all that Kveik yeasty funk back in the suspension. So then the third one I called the cleanest sample. I'm not 100% sure what the difference between the cleanest and the most neutral. The nose is malty, citrus, some slight smoke, orange. I get a lot of roasted bread, or I have gotten a lot of roasted bread. This is definitely the sweetest. I get cherry, resinous pine. This one is the most pine sappy. Bitter finish, spruce and malt, almost showing some booze, which I've written down and I can feel at the moment as I say it out loud. It's almost this Belgian-y type of clove and spice. So this is the spiciest and the sweetest, I think, the sweetest balance. And then I had a note that said number 2 is not that bitter of a finish once you go back to it. Oh, it's almost a little more like zippy, a little, kind of get a little pepper out of that and a little pine, but it's not nearly as bitter as it was before. So I don't know what it all means. I just felt like I needed to do something a little more intelligent than slamming these on New Year's Eve after a bunch of other brews. We're working with Ivar to hopefully get to Norway. Ivar has just been this awesome wealth. He's been sharing video with us. He's been sharing video and information with the Milk the Funk group, which if you're not a member of on Facebook, you need to do that. All about wild ales, funky ales, farmhouse. Kveik has obviously been a hot topic there just as much as it has been all around the country. But we're hoping to get back to the grassroots and go see the farmhouse old style ale being brewed. We're going to fire up a cauldron with Ivar, hopefully. But yeah, once again, they're very different from each other, but they do have some through lines. The smokiness, the citrus, this funk. None of them taste that much like a quote-unquote beer that we would really think of, but they don't taste unlike it. It tastes somewhat similar to Finnish sati, I would say. So those are probably fighting words, actually, to put Norway and Finland in a farmhouse death match of brewing. Out of the 3 of them, I definitely think, look at me, I'm drinking by myself, except for Charlie. I think I like this one the most. I appreciate that level of smoke, that black pepper. It's dry, peppery, and funky. This one I like because it's the most resiny and piney, but it's almost a little bit too much. It's not like you're going to sit there and tweak these. These are pretty much what they are. I could blend them, but some Viking might explode out of my cup and destroy my house. And I can't have that because it is sub-zero outside. I need these walls. So stay with us. We're hoping to bring you more Kveik adventures. We've been doing some crazy stuff with this stuff. We're going to brew with it, hopefully coming up with some warmer temps. And we just support, we like your support. We support Ivar, and we like your support. So cheers, Kveik for Kveik. Keep it real, keep it authentic. I now have to make some dinner before Elsa gets home. And bust up in here all Pleasantville style, like, where's my dinner? It's Chip Walton's night to cook. What up, Elsa? I'm sorry, your dinner's not ready.